Hey Naturals, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to Go Natural English. I'm your English teacher, Gabby. And you might be wondering why I'm wearing a skeleton onesie. Well, besides the fact that it's really comfortable and I think it's kind of fun, it's gonna be Halloween, the end of October. October 31st is Halloween, and I wanted to talk with you, our Go Natural English community, about why Americans celebrate Halloween and maybe some vocabulary that you might like to know to celebrate the holiday if you'd like to celebrate it. Oops, I just hit my straw here. This is a Halloween design on my soda. Tastes like Halloween. So Halloween, I misspoke. It's not actually a holiday. I remember a lot of my English students would think or hope that we would not have class, that it would be a holiday off from school. But in fact, Halloween is not a public holiday. So all business, all classes, everything runs as usual. Business as usual on Halloween. Now, it's also not a religious holiday. What it is kind of a cultural celebration that was brought over from Europe, specifically from Irish immigrants to the United States in colonial times. And it came from a cultural event or celebration that they had called Samhain that celebrated the time that they believed where the space between the spirit world and the living world was not very big. So they believed that spirits could, come and walk amongst us. Well, at least that's what I read on the internet. Also, in the Southwest United States, which is close to Mexico, Halloween is very close to the Day of the Dead, or Día de los Muertos. And that is a similar cultural festival. And so it's very possible, very likely that we borrowed some of that tradition here in the United States. So what actually happens on Halloween? Well, I remember when I was a little kid, like several years ago, we used to celebrate Halloween in school. We were allowed to dress up. Sometimes we would dress up in scary costumes like this, or maybe our favorite movie characters or something fun. And we would share candy, we would do like special fun activities, play games. But nowadays, I don't think that kids celebrate Halloween at school anymore. I think that, to be more politically correct, we don't celebrate Halloween except for private gatherings. So maybe if you work in the US, it depends on your work culture and your office. People may celebrate Halloween, but it really depends on your office culture and where you work. Sometimes adults celebrate. You might be invited to a Halloween-themed party, and you might want to check if people are dressing up. You can ask, hey, is this a costume party? So that's one good phrase to know, a costume party. Another good phrase to know is trick or treat. Trick or treat is an activity that usually children do. Adults would only do it if they're bringing children. And it's when you go door to door, usually in a neighborhood in the suburbs of the United States. Children will go door to door with their parents, usually knock on the door and say trick or treat, and they're asking for candy. So this was something that I did as a kid, and I have fond memories of that. I haven't done that in many, many years. But, it's still fun to maybe go to a Halloween party or do something fun with your friends, go to a themed event at a bar or restaurant. So that's basically what happens on Halloween. It's most like a costume party and not anything religious, not a public holiday. So if you have any questions about Halloween, you can write them in the comments, and our awesome Go Natural English community members may answer, and I will definitely answer as well. If you have comments, if you'd like to tell me how you like to celebrate Halloween, or if you celebrate Halloween, yes or no, please tell me in the comments. I would be very interested to know if people celebrate Halloween in your country, and what do you usually do? I've noticed where I've traveled in the world, in Japan, in Brazil, and actually last year, I forgot to tell you, on Halloween, I was in Abu Dhabi, and the hotel where I was staying had a Halloween party. I was totally shocked. I had no idea that people celebrate Halloween in Abu Dhabi, but who knew? Maybe you can share with me about how people celebrate or don't celebrate in your country. So I'll look forward to hearing from you in the comments. All right, talk to you soon. Bye for now, and happy Halloween.